So we have started with structures and pointers. So a structure is a user-defined data type formed using a fundamental data types, and it is a collection of logically related items defined under a common name. So to define the structure, you need the keyword known as struct, and then using the primitive data types, you arrange all the data elements, and then you declare the structure. Then finally you go on for declaring the variable name through which you are going to access the elements of the structure. So without the variable name, you cannot access the elements of a structure. So based on that variable only, how much of memory is being allocated, you will be able to find out. So variable declaration plays an important role over here. Then after variable declaration, you have variable initialization. That is like in your static variables, how you have learned in your +1, you can go on to initialize the values at the time of declaration. So certain rules are to be followed here very strictly. So following that, you can go on to initialize the values for your structure. After initializing, then you have to access the values, access the elements of the structure. To access the elements of a structure, you will be using the dot operator. How you will be accessing is it? With the help of your structure variable and towards the structure element. So all these examples we have seen, some valid and invalid operations on structures also we have seen. And after that, we went on to learn about nested structures. Array of structures we have learned, that is for a collection of data. We can go on to include the concept of arrays. After arrays, we learned about nested structure. Nested structure means a structure which is placed inside another structure is known as your nested structure. It can be done in two different ways. One is internal nesting and the other is external nesting. So both has got its own advantages, and more advantages is your external nesting because you can have more number of variables associated to it, so it can be used in multiple other structures also. So certain rules, whatever you have to follow, you should be following it for all these. Is this part clear for you? Till this only I have taken. So with this we have come towards the end of what a structure is. So based on this, I have given you a certain set of homeworks and all. So complete that and submit it as quickly as possible. Okay. So now the next topic that we are going to see is about pointers. The next topic that we are going to see is about pointers. This, kindly listen carefully and understand how we are going to get the elements, values, etc. Little bit concentration is required over here. So kindly concentrate on this particular topic. It's not that easy as you have learned structures. Okay. So kindly listen to it. So pointer. So before moving into exactly what a pointer is, let me tell you that whenever we declare any variables, a variable has got three parts. This we have learned in our +1 itself. Yes or no? A variable has got three parts, that is name, address, data type. Along with that, you have the content also. Based on the data type, you have the content related to it. Is it not? So now look into the example. That is, the three parts are your name, address, the data type, as well as the content. Content will be related to the data type. Okay. So now look into this example given over here. So you have your integer data type. Num is the variable name equal to 25. So 25 is the value to it. 25 is the value towards it. So when you go on to your memory allocation, when you go on to represent it in the memory, can you see this diagram over there? Can you see this diagram? See, look into this diagram. This is how you will be able to see it in the memory. This is how it will be represented in the memory. That is your variable name, that is num. It has got the address, that is in one particular address it will be stored. As it is integer, integer occupies 4 bytes in the memory. Integer occupies 4 bytes in the memory. So 4 bytes are represented as 4 cells. 4 bytes are represented in 4 cells. Each cell carry 1 byte. Each cell carry 1 byte. And for each cell there is an address. And for each cell there is an address. So the address values are always positive integer values. The address values are always positive integer values. Any integer values, okay? Now this, for an example only, I have started with 1001. Is this part clear? ഈ രണ്ട് പാർട്ട് പറഞ്ഞത് ക്ലിയർ ആണോ? The variable name and the address പറഞ്ഞത് ക്ലിയർ ആണോ? Yes? Okay. So now 25 is the value associated to it. 25 is the value associated to it. So that is stored in the memory. That is stored in the memory. Okay. So after this, what happens? After this, what happens? How to go about? So name will be num, that variable name. Address will always be 1001 to 1004. So now when we have a question, what is the address of this variable num? What is the address of the variable num? You have 4 address values given over here. Can you see? You have 4 address values given over here. That is 1001 to 1004. But always it takes up the value of 1001 by default. But it always takes up the value of 1001. That is the first address value or the base address. Understand this term? Base address. Always it takes up the first address value or the base address. So your answer for this question will be, what is the address of the variable num? If you ask, the answer for this is 1001. The answer for this is 1001. Then data type, int occupies 4 bytes and the content stored over here is 25. And the content stored over here is 25. ഇതിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും doubt ഉണ്ടോ? Do you have any doubt in this? In this explanation, this we have learnt in +1 itself. Do you have any doubt in this part? Do you have any doubt in this part? If so, just raise your hands and put me the question. I'll give you the answer for this. If you have any doubt, just raise your hands. I'll give you the answer for it. So then shall I pass on? If you understand this only, the next part, what I'm going to explain, you will be able to understand. Is it clear with this? Are you clear with this? At least 1 or 2 give me an answer, please.
Yes.
Clear. So variable has got 3 parts: name, address, and data type. Based on that, you have your content. So name is num, that is your variable name. Address is 1001 to 4. Always takes a base address value. By default, it is 1001. Data type is int, occupies 4 bytes. That is why it is divided into 4 cells. And the content stored is 25. And the content stored is 25. So L value is known as the address of variable. The next 2 important terms. L value is known as the address of variable, and R value is known as the content of the variable. L value is the address of the variable and R value is the content of the variable. Okay. So then next, all these we have learned in our +1, but still a revision part. Okay. Memory word. When more than one cell constitute a storage location, it is called a memory word. How you get this term memory word is when more than one cell constitute a storage location. That is, now the best example is your integers. Integers occupies 4 bytes. So each single byte is stored in one cell. So more than one cell you have, yes or no? 1001, 2, 3, and 4. So you have 4 cells over here, yes? So since you have more than one cell occupied over here, used over here, that is why it is called as a memory word. So a pointer variable, so the address for this, always when a question comes over here, what is the address? You should always write it with the base address value. You should always write it with the base address value or the first address value or the first address value. So the answer for this is 1001. Okay, the answer for this is 1001. The next important topic, a pointer variable is used to store the address value of another variable. A pointer variable is used to store the address value of another variable. So far you have learned statements like this. Yes or no? Just listen to it. I'll just show you. So far you have learned statements written like this, A equal to B, which means that the value of B is assigned to A. Yes or no? The value of B is assigned to A. Like this you have written statements so far in your C++ programs. Valladum orkunnundo? Could you recollect writing statements like this? Which means value stored in B is assigned to A. That is, the content stored in B is assigned to A. Now, the next step of your programming, what you are going to learn is the address of one variable, you are going to store it in another variable. The address of one variable, you are going to store in another variable. That is what you are going to learn now. Is it clear? So how to do that? In what way you can do that? For doing that, you have to declare the variable as a pointer variable. For that, you have to declare the variable as a pointer variable. So how to go on, we'll be seeing now. Okay. So a pointer, it is actually your primitive data type only. It is actually your primitive data type. Atomic in nature, atoms, they are independent molecules only, no? So like that concept only, atomic in nature we are telling. Okay. Next, so your pointer, it becomes your, later it becomes a derived data type. Why a derived data type? Means from your fundamental data type, from your fundamental data type only, you're going to extract and bring it out. From your fundamental data type only, you're going to extract and bring it out. So the data types used could be your fundamental, and later you can make it as a user defined data type also. The data type used could be your fundamental data type or your user defined data type. User defined, what data type did we learn? That is your structures. Okay. So how to denote that a variable is a pointer variable? How to denote that a variable is a pointer variable? Just look on to the screen. Every step by step I am giving you the explanations. Okay. How to denote that a variable is a pointer variable is, we'll precede that variable name with the asterisk mark or the star symbol. Okay, we'll precede that variable name with an asterisk mark or this star symbol. Is it clear? This symbol will be used. This symbol will be used preceded to your variable, which indicates that your variable is of pointer data type. So now look into the syntax. So syntax is data type, that is your fundamental data type. Then you have your star symbol followed by your variable name, followed by your variable name. It is data type. Then that is your fundamental or your user defined data type you can have. You have your star symbol followed by your variable name. So now look into the examples. Now look into the examples how you can use it. Okay. Integer, your fundamental data type. Now PTR1 is the variable which has to be mentioned as a pointer variable. So what we do over here is, we make it as a star symbol. We make it as a star symbol. So which indicates that star PTR1. This is how we spell it out. Star PTR1. Star PTR1 will be your pointer variable, which is of integer data type. You can use any of your fundamental data types. Now look into the second example. In your second example, you have it as float star PTR2 comma star PTR4 simultaneously, that is separated by your comma operator. You can have two or more variables declared together. Excuse me. Separated by your comma operator, you can have two or more pointer variables declared together. Okay. Now look into the third example. I told you we can make use of your user-defined data type also. So struct becomes your user-defined data type. Student is your name of the structure. Star PTR3 is the variable to that structure which is declared as a pointer variable. Is it clear? So struct is your user defined data type. Student is the name of that structure. Star PTR3 is the variable declared to that structure. So now this star PTR3 becomes a pointer variable to the structure. Is this part clear now? Do you have any doubt over here? Pointer variable declaration, do you have any doubt? To indicate that a variable is a pointer variable, we should precede it with the help of your star symbol. Only then it will be known as your pointer variable. Is it clear now? Any doubt do you have? Any doubt? Shall I pass on? So the data type of a pointer variable should be the same that of the data pointed to it. Example. So int A, float B, then struct student C. So PTR1 could contain the address of another integer variable. That is the explanation for this. The data type of a pointer variable should be the same as that of the data pointed by it. That is while assigning the values. Okay, while assigning excuse me, the values, the pointer variable what you are using should have always the same data type. ഇവിടെ type promotion ഒന്നും ഇവിടെ നടക്കില്ല. Okay, here type promotion and all will not take place. So if your variable is a pointer variable of integer data type, the value or any other variable you are assigning over there should also be an integer data type. Now, why I tell this? Now look into this example. That is int star PTR1. That is PTR1 was your integer pointer variable. Yes or no? Always everything will be in small letters, okay? Int star PTR1. This is your integer pointer variable. So here int a is declared. Int a is declared. So to the pointer variable ptr1, you can assign only an integer variable. You can assign only an integer variable. Then we went on to declare float star ptr2 comma star ptr4. These two variables we have declared. So here for PTR2 and PTR4 can contain the address of another float variable. So PTR2 is equal to B. Why PTR2 is equal to B? Because PTR2 is a float pointer variable. B is a what? A variable declared of the type float. B is a variable declared of the type float. So you can connect only these two, or PTR4 or PTR4. Only these two you can connect with each other. Is it clear? Then one more thing that we went on to declare was struct star ptr3. This is how we have declared. So struct star ptr3 that we have declared. So for this, what you can have is ptr3 can contain the address of another structure variable. So C is a variable which is of the user defined data type structure. So ptr3 is a structured pointer variable. So you can assign only like this. Okay, you can assign only like this. That is int a can be connected only with int star ptr1. Int a can only be connected with star ptr1. Then float b can be connected only with float star ptr2 or star ptr4. Then struct student c can only be connected with struct star ptr3.